Our counteroffensive has changed the course of the war. However, the western part of the continent and the area around the space elevator still remain under Erusian control. As you all know, this is because they have those damn arsenal birds controlling the skies around the lighthouse. So, we're going to use Stonehenge for a long-range attack against the arsenal bird. In addition to helping to destroy the asteroid, Stonehenge was also utilized by the Erusian forces as a weapon in the Continental War. However, the majority of the artillery is out of action after an air raid by the independent state Allied forces. When that happened, the main base was being repaired from the damage caused by the asteroid, so it managed to escape the bombardment. The Osean Army continued the repairs in secret and managed to reactivate its base systems. Once preparations are complete, it will be able to fire again. However, the officer in charge has yet to confirm whether it can be fired more than once. In other words, it is looking like we may have only one chance to be able to bring down one of those invulnerable arsenal birds. We're going all in on this one plan. The Erusian forces have detected our movements and are marching on Stonehenge. The arsenal bird is closing in, but if our operation goes as planned, we should be able to shoot it down before it reaches the operation area. We've set up strong points we call menhirs around Stonehenge. Provide them with air support, while keeping air superiority. Our mission is to protect Stonehenge until it can shoot down that monster bird. If we can shoot down even just one arsenal bird, it will significantly reduce the scale of the enemy's air defense network. Stonehenge is our only way of bringing down an arsenal bird. Missing is a luxury we cannot afford.
Strider Squadron, proceed to runway. Sortie ASAP.
Attention, all defensive and air support teams. In order to get up and running, what I need most from you is time. As long as you can provide me that, my program will bring down the Arsenal bird.
That was Major Deanna McConey. I'm Warrant Officer Lehman, a specialist. We're now commencing the operation to destroy the Arsenal bird.
It's gonna be a long fight. Don't waste any ammo.
So that's Stonehenge, huh? It's bigger than I imagined. Uglier, too.
Look at that mess of cables. They're using generator trucks to run it.
Are we sure that thing's even gonna fire? Seriously, I mean, how old is it?
If it doesn't, then our luck is run dry. I kept praying about you.
Well, if it works, it'll bring down even an Arsenal bird. Big if. And it'd have to hit.
Measure 6. Enemy tanks to the head. Located an enemy tank. Lancaster, requesting close air support.
Measure 6. Request for air support confirmed. Help is on the way. Enemies locked on.
Listen up. Our job is to defend here. That's all, you got it? This should be easy. Go on your paycheck.
fired.
There's a lock.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Missile.
Bandit in my sight. Locked on.
Missile.
There's an enemy on your tail.
Missile.
Bandit under 6.
Missile.
Cyclops 3, Box 2.
Powering main system. Code boost. Skipping sequences 47 to 97.
Activating. We just need one shot.
Enough. They're all friends.
This is Mid here 7. We've linked up with ground and air support and are ready to drive the enemy back.
Additional hostiles inbound. Great timing.
Bombers, bearing 190. Stonehenge won't survive a bomb run. You have to stop them.
There's no way we're letting them take out Stonehenge. Sorry to keep you waiting. We'll handle the air defenses. Allied aircraft, don't worry about us. Take out those bombers.
The enemy isn't letting up. There's just no wind in sight.
This is Men here 6. The enemy ground forces have been eliminated. Much obliged for the air support. Alright guys, this time you get a whole 45 seconds. Grab some chow or something.
We've only got 60% green. We've got 30% yellow, 10% is red.
Well, it has been sitting here rusting away for the past 20 years. I'd say a few glitches are to be expected. Hurry and verify the reds and yellows.
Roger!
We can't afford to lose anyone. Hostile bomber destroyed. Nice work. Keep Stonehenge safe for us.
Bandit acquired. Firing. This is Men here 5. We managed to drive off about half of the enemy ground troops. That ought to show them. Our objective isn't wiping out the enemy forces. Defending Stonehenge.
Taking it to overdrive. Their only focus should be Stonehenge. One shot from Stonehenge and that
Power level is at 40%. 42%. Come on, damn it!
Come on, baby. Be good. We need you.
Enemy missile defected. Evading. Mark through! Mark through! I'm afraid that we're going to be in for a long day.
All enemies attacking Vendor 5 have been eliminated. Good job.
Caution. Pull up. Caution.
Men here 7 here. Enemy aircraft approaching. They're gonna clean this place out. If we don't get air support, we're dead. The aircraft is the LRSMC. Our target is on the ground.
Strider 1, keep an eye on Strider Squadron. Make sure everyone gets back alive.
Stay out of our line of sight. Avoid friendly fire.
More hostiles advancing towards Men here 6. Ground forces haven't noticed yet.
Let's take out the enemy while our friends are still on their feet.
Breaking! Missile breaking!
In gun range.
Mark 2. Oh, baby, we're saved! Whoever's flying the plane with 3 lines, I'm buying you a beer later.
You should know what their next action is.
This is Men here 7. Enemy reinforcements. They're attacking in waves.
We're gonna crack them in half. They'll never want to fight again when we're done.
More bombers. They're high. Altitude 8,000. Bearing 150.
The enemy's going all out, too.
Railgun power supply is... Damn it. Numbers aren't going up.
Missile.
Bypass through the auxiliary condenser.
Come on, damn it!
Missile.
The guy on the ground is shooting at me.
Missile. Missile.
Men here 7 looks bad. I don't think they're gonna make it.
Visual on target. Prepare for bombing run.
Take out all bombers.
I got the cards. Can't afford to let Stonehenge fall. We're really counting on that air support.
personnel. Focus on your jobs. Don't stare out the windows.
Enemy has a lock on you.
This is Men Here 5. We've engaged the enemy reinforcements. We're ready to take it to them.
It's like goddamn whack-a-mole out here. I'm already exhausted.
Grit your teeth and fly. Remember that the fate of the whole war depends on this mission.
We can see the smoke from here. Did you get those bombers?
Yeah, and single-handedly.
Bird with the 3 lines. It's gotta be him.
Tank is destroyed.
We gotta take out the enemy base no matter what. Send in the tanks.
Squidder, I shut that stupid alarm clock. Time to bomb Stone Age. Back to the Stone Age.
We've already thrown everything we've got at Stonehenge. What's it gonna take? We're struggling to survive. We have to hold out for a little longer.
One AA gun destroyed.
Another big spot.
I never thought I'd see numbers like this. Guess that's how you know it's important. Looks like we're helping shape history here.
This is Men Here 6. We're taking heavy losses. I repeat, we need air support ASAP. Any chance for that air support?
That should take care of the reinforcements facing Men Here 5. Get going.
Mission accomplished. It looks like I made it in time.
Missile.
They're survey techs. I've had to take them out.
Missile. Missile.
More guests. Bombers and their escorts. Bearing 170.
Shit. I'm gonna go smack 10 of the boys below are hanging on by a thread. You want me to choose?
Power level is at 80%. Think we should take our shot?
Patience! Don't want to waste everyone's hard work. Let's wait to 100.
I guess you're right. Give the fire control system one last check while we're waiting.
Roger. We successfully defended City 7. Good work, everyone. The LRSMT. Without them, we probably would have been the ones in trouble.
More bombers approaching.
Move it! What the hell? We're supposed to be the ones on the offensive. How did they get us on the ropes?
We wiped out half of them. Keep it up.
Intercept them now.
Trigger, what the hell are you doing?
Roger point. Firing.
Enemy rocket unit coming from the southwest and heliborne assault from the northeast. They're planning a direct assault on Stonehenge. Stop them.
Let's split up. Take whichever way you like. Enemy vessel detected. Evading.
Target hit. All enemy bombers have been destroyed.
Almost there. Should all be over soon.
This is one ugly battle, but what a story for my kid.
I gotta say, my friend.
They evaded it. Prepare the fire. They know we're here. So shoot them before they shoot us. How long till you're ready? Once we fire, that cannon will crumble and the battle will end. Understood. Commencing mission. Chopper is on its way to Stonehenge.
We're doing everything we can to fire as quickly as possible. Just buy us some time until then.
This is Men Here 6. That's the last of the enemy reinforcements. I gave my men a 15-minute vacation. Sorry, I need a short breather myself. I'll just be stitching on my lost limbs. Should be back before lunch.
Letting you
course, Trigger. Lead the way and eliminate the enemy. Cyclops will take the rocket unit.
Roger that.
Perfect. Their rear is wide open.
Just focus on doing your job. They will handle their job to protect us from the enemy outside.
Hilo assault unit is down. If they had infiltrated Stonehenge, it would have been all over. Good work. Cyclops Squadron has eliminated the rocket unit. Keep it up.
You've given my program a lot of the time it needs. Stonehenge will be ready to fire shortly.
Stand by. I'm picking up something on my radar. The signal is massive. It's the Arsenal bird.
I have visual. Arsenal bird confirmed.
Here they come.
A swarm of UAVs is launching from the Arsenal bird. Keep them away from Stonehenge.
Closer the target, fewer the variables. How long till we can fire?
Firing at 60.
Hear that? Keep us safe till then.
Fire control system inspection complete. Radar error correction is good to go.
Confirm voltage.
Stable. 30 seconds.
We have confirmation. Live projectile is loaded.
Power level is at 100%.
15 seconds.
Frame control?
All green.
Initiate final countdown.
Understood. Commencing final countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop the countdown. One the target. On? This stupid thing is flying in the open.
The survey data isn't updating. No response from our spotter.
Survey vehicle down.
Those vehicles were Stonehenge's eyes. Without those, I'm sorry.
Don't give up yet, Major. Still have sensors. All right. The oldest sensors in the book. What are you scheming?
They're too unreliable.
Not bad.
That's something.
Impossible. We got circuit. We can't do any more. Half the battle containers are carry out our mission.
Come on, damn it! Attention, all personnel! We have a change in the mission. We will now be using direct fire to shoot down the Arsenal bird. Listen, attack the central propellers. If you can destroy them, the Arsenal bird will slow down.
Strider 1, Cyclops 1. Air up and attack that propeller. Everyone else, defend Stonehenge from the UAVs.
We'll go. Jaeger, you take the lead.
It's readying its APS.
I'm going.
Hit on the Arsenal.
Powers is too much for Trigger alone.
Deal with the rebound. Do your friggin' job.
Cal, we need someone who can take down those UAVs. It's up to you.
Trigger, do not confirm this.
Unbelievable. Stonehenge treated an honest business for each table? Or was that curious?
They knew what they were doing.
This whole operation is crazy. Well, only a total madman could bring down the Arsenal bird.
Give us the UTM coordinates under the Arsenal bird. We'll calculate the range. And I need you to be exact.
Cyclops 3 missile incoming. Look out.
I'm ahead. I have to eject. Forecast. Send a request for rescue. Conditions look critical. Expect some injuries.
60 seconds remain.
Give me a second. It's been a while since I've used this arcade. Does the angle on this table account for wind and Coriolis?
We can see the ocean flag from here. Not much wind. Rest is just instinct.
All right, That takes care of the propellers. Arsenal burn is slowing down.
Undo my faith as well, please, Trigger.
Cyclops 4 has been hit. Are you alright?
Power level is at 80%.
I'm fine. We can't lose any more allies.
Knock that off. Push yourself too hard and you're dead. Get back to base.
Missile.
Wilco, over.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Power level is at 100%.
Missile.
We've done our part. Stonehenge, shoot!
Understood. Begin final countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Adjusting angle.
3, 2, 1. Fire! Hit, damn it!
Yeah! Oh yeah! Hot damn!
Is it really over now?
Reporting mission success. Lehman, this victory belongs to you. That was a good lesson on the importance of manual control.
Today's MVPs are the LRSSG.
I'll say, especially those two lead birds. They're the Ocean big shots. We can win if we follow them. The Ocean big shots?
You mean the Ocean Big Shot?
Looks like we're on the offensive now. Ha. The enemy's defensive range dropped along with that arsenal bird.
That just means more pie for us.
Are we gonna eat the whole thing?
The brass is always hungry for more. They've got a bottomless appetite. But enough about that. Get some rest now before the counterattack.
Caution. Caution.
Yeah, we got our hands dirty for nothing. The guys were babbling about a 3-line marking. Look into that for me.
Attention, all defensive and air support teams.
The mission succeeded, but at a great cost. This victory marks a strategic turning point. The enemy has only one Arsenal bird left, and the defensive grid around the space elevator has been decimated. We can expect a counteroffensive by Ocean forces everywhere.
I was born downtown, in our capital. When I recall my homeland, my thoughts are filled with the sights and sounds of the city. But home means something different to each and every one of us. Therefore, I've decided to visit every place where our citizens call home. The Kingdom of Erusia is a land of diversity. Each region has its own unique and special culture.
The destruction of one of their arsenal birds has significantly reduced the scale of Erusia's air defense network. Ocean forces have moved into the areas where we gained air superiority and freed over half of the Eusian continent. However, Erusia is feeling the pressure and is reacting by attempting to activate the ballistic missile base in the suburbs of Sierra Plata. For the past 72 hours, they've put the resources and people into action and have already entered the final stages of a launch. The missile silo is deep underground. To destroy it, we'll need a bomber to drop a huge deep penetration bomb in a precise place. Unfortunately, that airspace is thick with clouds at the moment, so it will be difficult for a bomber to hit the target accurately. Normally, we'd wait for the weather to clear, but with the situation being what it is, we don't have that option. So, we will be the bomber's eyes and find the missile silo. You'll all be equipped with targeting pods and set of special weapons. We need you to fly at low altitude and visually identify which silo they're activating, then acquire it with your targeting pod. Once you press the firing switch, the bombers will drop their payload based on the location data provided by the targeting pod. You will need to keep the silo in the center of your sight until the bomb hits its target, or else it will miss entirely. It takes a high level of airmanship to properly guide these bombs to their targets while flying in place. Naturally, we assume the enemy has positioned anti-air artillery and aircraft in the area of operations, so stay alert. Additionally, we suffered human and material losses in the last battle. The Cyclops Squadron will sit this one out. Trigger, it's up to you to make this work with just Strider Squadron.
Strider Squadron, sortie ASAP. Arusia only has 5 IRBM silos in total. Therefore, the enemy's made a number of fake silos to try and throw our bombers off the scent.
Did you say fake?
They're painted to look like the real thing from the sky. You can't tell the difference.
The wing of that LRSSG brought down that arsenal bird. We've got the bombs. You do the terminal guidance.
In order to use the targeting pods, you'll need to change weapons first. Try to align the missile silo with a circle in the center of your HUD. When you're lined up, hit the firing switch and the bomb will drop. You're gonna need to keep the silo aligned until the bomb hits. The enemy set up anti-air weapons in multiple locations.
We need to work together to take them down.
Keep the targeting pod trained on that silo until the payload is delivered.
Bunker buster hit its mark. Time for fireworks.
Southern 1, missile launched. Destruction of first missile silo confirmed.
The IRBM is aimed at the OT's garrison. Soldiers' lives are at stake. We have no time.
They completely lost it. You can bet on it.
Attend this match.
Dropping another bunker buster will take some time. Aim carefully.
Target destroyed.
Shoot down those things up there.
Bunker buster away.
Look, there's fire shooting up from the ground.
Missile silo destroyed. That makes 2. No launch signs yet.
We might be able to pull this off. Let's keep it up and get the rest of these silos.
Picking up an enemy squadron. It must be the reinforcements they called in. They don't appear to be going after our bomber. Take them out if they interfere with our mission.
This is a serious mission. Wasn't Wiseman who gave Strider 2 account? Mission changes every mission.
I'm sure he has a reason for it. Probably that when I see it. I'm just glad he won't be there to chew my ear off.
Target acquired.
Missile.
We did it.
Missile.
That takes care of that. Nice work.
Hurry up and break! Behind you!
missile away.
Caution. Pull up.
Vehicle eliminated.
You dodged it.
If you follow the roads, there could be a silo at the end of one of them.
Target confirmed. Dropping the bomb now.
Pull up.
All right. Now let's take out those remaining silos.
Missile silo destroyed.
Where do we look next? The sky feels open and free today. As a Cyclops, I felt like a bird in a cage. Once this mission's over, I guess we'll be back under the company commander's thumb again. What a pain in the ass.
5 minutes remaining.
Strider 2, Fox 2.
Missile.
Silence, stood by us. Alive.
Caution. Pull up.
Target is in machine gun range.
Caution. Missile.
Target acquired.
Missile.
Enemy missile coming at me. Breaking.
All enemy aircraft confirmed destroyed.
Do we have time for the silos? Strider 1, that's what I like to see. Can I tell the difference? I'm like a wolf that's been let off its leash. These guys won't know what hit him. I thought you were a bird from its cage.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Caution. Pull up.
Target confirmed. Dropping the bomb now.
Right on the money.
Hit. Target destroyed.
The fewer there are, the harder they are to find. Good luck.
There's only one silo remaining. Target acquired.
Missile.
Strider 1, missile.
Missile.
Target is hit.
They're targeting our silos with pinpoint accuracy. Are they psychic?
Missile. 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 Missile.
Keep bringing them down.
Missile. Missile. Caution. Caution. Missile. Missile. Caution.
2 minutes remaining.
Missile. Missile.
Bunker buster away.
Missile. Caution.
All missile silos have been destroyed.
Wait, what the hell is that?
Alert! We've detected an IRBM launch. Confirmed signature on our radar. Launch site is this dam.
Not from the silos?
They certainly hit it well. We still have a chance. Shoot it down before it reaches critical altitude.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Confirmed signature on our radar. Warning, we confirm another launch. Take it out.
missile away. Bon voyage.
Target is in range of guns.
That only scratched me up. Continuing with combat. Missile, breaking.
New hostiles. All aircraft confirmed. Additional launch confirmed.
Incoming!
Strutter 1, missile launched. The target will soon reach critical altitude.
Enemy's gonna launch. Breaking. Enemy missile! Breaking! Bandit behind you! Close it!
In gun range.
Alright, am I back?
Target acquired. Target hit. The target will soon reach critical altitude. The target is about to reach critical altitude.
Soul warning. Soul warning.
All of the missiles have been destroyed.
I was cutting it pretty close. I was starting to get a little nervous.
You're telling me you had us sweating up here, and there wasn't even anything we could do about it. Glad we were partnered with you on this operation.
That went about as expected. Be sure to include in the report how much ass I kicked while off the company commander's leash.
Caution.
Roger that, and I'll be sure to include all the crap you said about Wiseman, too.
Aruzio.
We have successfully prevented an enemy ballistic missile attack. Strider Squadron, you did very well without your unit commander. We are now preparing for the final stage of our long-range operation, seizing the capital. With the loss of an arsenal bird followed by the destruction of their ballistic missile base, Erussia is running out of ways to counter. This is a great opportunity for the Osean army to bolster our power to eventually take down the Erusian capital of Farbanti. The special long-range strategy is entering its final phase. Our objective is to attack and capture the Erusian Air Force Base in Cape Rainy in northern Erusia. This important base is at the forefront of our strategy to establish control of Farbanti. Under the cover of night, our plan is that all squadrons will invade from the valley to the south and mount an air assault on the area. The enemy's observation field has eyes on the skies above the valley, so your altitude will need to be restricted. If you go over a certain altitude, the enemy could spot you, ending the mission in failure. Keep that in mind. Once you arrive, you are to take out the enemy's air defense forces as soon as possible and prepare for the support squadrons. When the air defense forces are neutralized, the helicopter squadron should arrive carrying Marines. The plan is to take control of the base. Getting through the valley is only half the job.
Strider Squadron, aircraft prep complete. You're cleared to taxi. Beginning nighttime aerial refueling process. Be careful of reduced visibility. 1 mile to tanker. Bank left. Too fast. Lower airspeed. 500 yards. You may approach the refueling tanker. 15. Trigger. Maintain your current approach. Excellent work, Trigger. Refueling initiated. Maintain your current position.
Strider 1, you have passed through waypoint 1. No weapons until you reach the enemy base. All aircraft, reduce altitude. We have altitude restrictions from here on out. Keep altitude below 1,900 feet. Good. Maintain your current course.
Searchlight up ahead. Watch for it.
Stay out of their sight.
Strider, Aslan's one. Our current ETA matches yours. Catch them off guard. Can we secure the LZ quickly?
We'll get you down safe. I'm worried you're short on men.
Strider 1 is down. Beginning nighttime aerial...
Strider 1, you have passed through waypoint 1. No weapons until you reach the enemy base. All aircraft, reduce altitude. We have altitude restrictions from here on out. Keep altitude below 1,900 feet. Good. Maintain your current course.
Searchlight up ahead. Watch for it.
Stay out of their sight.
Strider, Aslan's one. Our current ETA matches yours. Catch them off guard. Can we secure the LZ quickly?
We'll get you down safe. I'm worried you're short on men.
Everyone here's already signed their wills.
That ain't funny.
Never was good at jokes. Okay, follow your wisdom.
Understood. Strider 1, you've passed through waypoint 2. The valley's about to get narrower. Be careful.
Watch your speed.
Caution. Caution. Pull up.
When can we take on the final mission? I'm starting to get tired of all this.
This is the last step, Count. We'll take the enemy base and use it as a bridgehead.
Watch yourselves out there.
Caution.
We're going to need all of you in Farbanti.
Caution. Pull up.
Without Wiseman here, everybody wants to give orders like they're the company commander himself.
Caution. Pull up.
The best thing about Strider Squadron is our leader keeps his mouth shut.
You've passed waypoint 3. You're coming up on the base, imposing radio silence.
Pull up.
We won't be able to talk again until you're over the base. Continue to keep an eye on your altitude. There are plenty of dark spots that can sneak up on you.
Spotted enemy aircraft propelling headed for the base.
We've been detected. We've lost the element of surprise.
Beginning nighttime aerial...
Strider 1, you have passed through waypoint 1. No weapons until you reach the enemy base. All aircraft, reduce altitude. We have altitude restrictions from here on out.
Caution. Pull up.
Keep altitude below 1,900 feet.
Caution. Pull up.
Good. Maintain your current course.
Caution. Pull up.
Searchlight up ahead. Watch for it.
Caution. Pull up.
Stay out of their sight.
Caution.
Strider, Dazzler's 1. Our current ETA matches yours. We catch the Vanguard. Can we secure the LZ
Pull
quickly?
up.
We'll get you down safe. I'm worried you're short on men.
Pull up.
Everyone here's already signed their wills.
That ain't funny.
Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
Never was good at jokes.
Pull up.
Okay, follow you with it.
Caution. Caution. Pull up.
Understood.
Caution. Pull up.
Strider 1, you've passed through waypoint 2.
Pull up.
The valley's about to get narrower. Be careful.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
Watch your speed.
Strider 1 lost! Beginning nighttime aerial...
Strider 1, you have passed through waypoint 1. No weapons until you reach the enemy base. All aircraft, reduce altitude. We have altitude restrictions from here on out.
Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
Keep altitude below 1,900 feet.
Caution. Pull
Good.
up.
Maintain your current course.
Caution. Pull up.
Searchlight up ahead. Watch for it.
Caution. Pull up.
Stay out of their sight.
Caution.
Strider,
Pull up.
Dazzler's 1. Our current ETA matches yours. We catch the Vanguard. Can we secure the LZ quickly?
Caution.
We'll get you down safe. I'm worried you're short on men.
Pull up.
Everyone here's already signed their
Pull
wills.
up.
That ain't funny.
Pull up.
Never was good at jokes. Okay, follow you with it.
Caution. Pull up. Caution.
Understood.
Pull up.
Strider 1, you've passed through waypoint 2.
Caution. Pull
The
up.
valley's about to get narrower. Be careful.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
Watch your speed.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
When can we take on the final mission? I'm starting to get tired of all this.
Caution. Pull
This is
up.
the last step, Count. We'll take the enemy base and use it as a bridgehead.
Watch yourselves out there.
Pull
We're
up.
going to need all of you in Farbanti.
Caution. Pull up.
Without Wiseman here, everybody wants to give orders like they're the company commander himself.
Caution.
The best thing about Strider Squadron is our leader keeps his mouth shut.
Pull up.
You've passed waypoint 3. You're coming up on the base, imposing radio silence.
Caution.
We won't be able to talk again until you're over the base. Continue to keep an eye on your altitude. There are plenty of dark spots that can sneak up on you.
Pull up.
You just passed through waypoint 4. Radio silence has been lifted. You're almost at the base.
Caution. Pull up.
We made it. That was quite the roller coaster ride.
Visual confirmation on the airbase. Reach destination.
Commence the attack. It's time for their wake-up call. The longer it takes, the worse off we'll be. Hurry up. Finish them off.
All right, let's give them a beating.
Strider 1, locked on target.
Enemies are attacking!
Target eliminated.
Where did they come from? They took out our leader's bird. Hurry or they'll roast us on the ground!
Gun range.
Fire up the searchlight! lights. I can't see where the enemies are coming from.
Looks like the enemy's air defenses are online. Yes, they finally decided to wake up. Keep up the attack. The sooner we finish this thing, the better. All enemy fighters down.
I feel their pain, I really do. But this is war. Landing down.
Roger that. If the enemy is still present in large numbers when our ground forces arrive, the mission will be a failure. Go help our allies.
Be quick. Gotta move on time. Make this free.
Your jokes haven't gotten any better.
Trust your allies and shoot. Space is ours for the taking.
Strider 1, warship sunk.
Wait the base, Commander! What are you waiting for?
Bandit hit!
We've engaged the enemy reinforcements. Requesting immediate close air support.
Copy that. We'll send some your way.
These guys in trouble. Let's help them out.
It's alright. Those two Ocean big shots will take care of them for us.
Okay, that takes care of all the SAM sites.
That's the last of our NGO guns. They've all been taken out.
Strider squadron, moving quickly. We'll lose the element of surprise.
Air support is on its way.
Target eliminated. Great work.
Okay, that attack just took out the enemies on the front line. The way ahead is cleared up. Have our thanks.
Give me a damage report. We've suffered heavy losses. This is more than a surprise attack.
Picking up an enemy squadron. It must be the reinforcements they called in.
Confirmed at least one leader. It's the one with the 3 scratches. Strider 3, Fox 2.
Firing railgun.
Evading enemy missile.
Emergency! See the enemy reinforcements? They're stopping us! We can't do anything about their air power. We need support.
2 remaining. Hostile lockout, you Strider 1. One last enemy fighter.
Ambush, stay calm. Reform the ranks. Rochester, requesting close air support.
Strider squadron, enemy reinforcements. Get some goddamn support there now.
Enemy numbers are small. Don't give in. Fight until the very end. That takes care of that. Nice work. We did it. That's the last of them. Achieved air superiority. This is 2-2. We're stuck. We won't be able to capture the base at this rate.
Keep your heads down. 3 strikes will take care of the enemy.
Taking destroyed.
That's it. We take out those 2. Force our way inside the facility.
Target's destruction confirmed. That air support was right on the money.
Pushing the enemy on their heels.
Okay, start running on the count of 3. Hey, I get to finally send my boys in to ring the doorbell. There's still quite a few enemies holed up in there. However, we can't afford to wait any longer. Begin the assault. If anyone resists, kill them. Contact! 2 o'clock! Go! Go! Fire!
Charge! Tear down that barricade!
How'd it go? Basilisk 1. The base is ours. We have control of all major functions.
Glad the pizza was on time.
Roger that, Basilisk 1. Mission accomplished.
All prisoners of war will be treated in accordance with international law. We've even brought pizza.
Looks like they can shred those wills.
I'm already getting an earful from the man over the needless paperwork.
No joke.
Okay, go ahead and begin your approach. Route to the flight control.
Roger that.
Strider 1, this is Basilisk. The runway is clear. You have permission to land. The party is on as soon as you get here. Reduce your speed. 2 miles to the runway. You are right on course. Maintain current heading. Past the guidance limit, make a visual landing. Impressive, Strider 1. Strider 1 has landed. Let's go and greet him.
Strider 1, you have passed through waypoint 1. No weapons until you reach the enemy.
Excellent work on the night raid. Submarines have arrived from the Ocean mainland and are refueling. This base will serve as a frontline platform for our mission to take Farbanti. We're almost at the end of this operation.
Mihai's second sortie was designed to calculate how his physiology changed under the stress of combat. My job was to compare his performance as a pilot now to when he was younger and understand how his skills evolved. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure I wanted to know the answers anymore. For a man his age, Mihai's body was unbelievably resilient, remarkably flexible. His reflexes were as sharp as they ever were. Still, after all those years of flying in the outer layers of the atmosphere, even someone as strong as Mihai wasn't immune to the effects of the strain. The human body is fragile. It was not meant to handle the excessive amounts of radiation that constantly bombarded the stratosphere. For Mihai's second sortie, we used a flight suit that was still untested. He seemed fine on takeoff, but by the time he landed back at the base, he was clearly a mess. He got caught in a surprise dogfight with an especially stubborn enemy. It took a while for Mihai to bring him down.
Suspend mission.
The suit was ineffective. According to the data, it wouldn't let him fly to his full potential. A new flight suit was made to my exact specifications. When it finally arrived, Mihai's granddaughters glared at me with their disapproval. They blamed me for the pain their grandfather had to keep enduring. But Mihai remained stoic. He wasn't the type of man who cared about anything that happened here on the ground. I wasn't worried about it. I was confident the new suit would protect him thoroughly so that he could maneuver his plane any way he wanted. The moment he took off in his new flight suit, I realized what I had failed to before. Right after takeoff, as the wheels retracted, the plane suddenly arced up. It accelerated so quickly. I had never seen a plane move like that before. Mihai hit the high G's multiple times before disappearing into the blue. The support team couldn't even keep up. Then I knew. I understood why he never seemed to care about restoring his stolen country back to its former glory, and why he didn't seem to care about anything that happened here on the ground. Of course, Mihai's kingdom was the sky.
The operation to capture Erusia's capital, Farbanti, is beginning. This is the culmination of our work. We need to capture the Erusian forces' general headquarters in the south of Farbanti and end this war. The plan is for ground troops to attack Farbanti from both the east and north, and a task fleet will attack from the southwest. We will secure air superiority over the capital, while providing air support for our allies on the ground and in the water as required. By all accounts, we expect this to be an intense, full-scale battle across land, sea, and air. Should you need to replenish your ammunition or make necessary repairs to your craft, a return line has been set up in the north. During this operation, we will also be tasked with having to destroy the communications satellites that Erusia hacked. If we take down the information communication system that we believe they have control over, it should plunge Erusia into chaos. Once the capital falls, the Erusian military will be isolated and thrown into chaos, making it easier for us to end the war. However, that can't happen until after the capital falls, so you guys are the stars of this battle. Erusia will fight like a tiger, but we cannot lose. We must seize the capital and end this war.
Strider Squadron, proceed to runway. Sortie ASAP.
Our troops have engaged at Farbanti Reconstruction Park, Silver Bridge, and the submerged area. We need you to help our boys in those 3 locations. This'll end the war. It's time. Commence the operation. Our friends are waiting.
Lately, as your company commander, I felt some of you young bucks coming after my championship belt. You're really putting the pressure on me, so I think I'm gonna go out there and run up the score a little bit. Just to show you guys how it's done. I trust I can count on all of you to keep up. Let's get out there, take care of business, come back in one piece. Bandit on your tail.
Strider 1, return line is to the north. Head that way if you need to refuel. Come on, everyone.
Count is back in the saddle with Cyclops 2. It's good to be flying with you again, partner.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Cute. No, it's real funny.
Missile.
One bandit back.
Missile.
Let's look.
Strider 1, the men below you are to secure the Silver Bridge, but they can't break enemy lines. We have aircraft in addition to you. Our numbers are less than ideal.
3 strikes in the sky. Too bad for those guys.
Left! Focus our defenses on the left. Hit us from there. Break! That only scratched me up. Continuing with combat.
Element 2, Fox 2.
We need more air support. We can't hold the bridge much longer without it. Fox 2. We have to retreat!
Locked on. Go down.
Hang in there. Free strike will be here soon.
Enemy backup inbound. Forces are heading for 2 separate combat zones. We need to split our forces in 2 and meet both threats at once.
Trigger, head for either area. Cyclops will take care of the other one.
Roger.
Strider 1, locked on target. Anti-air gun eliminated.
The missiles have got a lot of armament.
Firing.
Okay, Trigger. The park is all yours. We'll deal with the other threat.
I'll show you all how it's done.
Target eliminated.
Made it hit. Head inward, Trigger.
Strider 1 go.
Caution, enemy has a lock.
Missile. Missile.
Fox 2.
Missile.
Get away from that missile! In position behind Bandit.
Missile.
We're out of standstill. We're pinned down.
Caution.
We can't let the enemy take this position! Kill them all!
Anti-air gun eliminated.
Enemy has a lock.
Missile.
Strider 1, enemy on your tail. Come around! Our real issue right now. You shouldn't have mentioned 3 strikes during the briefing.
Caution. Missile.
Look at what's left of our course! Damn that 3 strikes!
That's a hit.
Boy, am I glad 3 strikes is here.
Missile.
Take your eyes off them.
Missile.
Roger, the mark will be secured. The Uzi and big shots clear the way.
I know to be fired.
HQ, we're falling back! We don't stand a chance against their air support! They have a lock on you, Strider 1. Hold your ground. They have a lock on me. Evading missile.
Take forward and keep your eyes on the enemy.
Bandit has a lock. I'm hit, but still fighting.
The missile got through our ECM. Shoot it!
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Keep pushing forward.
Enemy reinforcements on radar. Take them out.
Hostile forces moving near enemy HQ. We don't have enough units to hold them.
Split up. The longer this drags on, the greater our losses.
Roger that.
Friendly down!
Keep up the pressure. We're almost there. Just about broken through the enemy's defenses. Time to attack!
I don't like the look of things. They're relentless. Break!
Strider 1, locked on target.
Strider 1 got one.
Where did these guys come from? My job just got that much harder.
Stop these guys before somebody lights a fire under our asses! That area's all yours, Strider. We'll back up 1 squadron at the Silver Bridge.
Firing railgun. Vessel confirmed sunk.
Missile.
We've lost 30% of our fleet. It's going to be difficult to complete our mission given these circumstances.
Everyone's requesting pickup. It'll take forever to get here. Let's get you to the best.
Enemy's got a lock
Understood.
Understood.
You did really well out there. This is sure to bring an end to the war. You'll be heroes.
Don't know what medals they've got for you, but if you want one, come back in one piece.
Enemy fleet is crippled. Friendly warships should be able to finish them off.
This is the start. There are small boats hiding in the ruins. Take them out before they can approach the fleet.
Missile. Missile.
Missile, evade!
Missile. Missile.
Target is eliminated.
Damn enemy
The harder the battle, the less
Let's return the
likely
tide.
according to plan. You know how many they've taken out? And you're back. Where's three strike?
Strider 1, warship sunk.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Say goodbye. Don't let them through. HQ's right behind us.
5 minutes remaining. Missile away.
Now, support team, open fire.
Target acquired.
Ship building!
Eyeball to Ostrich. Take care of Niner Sierra for us. Roger. We'll provide supporting fire along with Stork. Our target is Niner Sierra. Prepare the first volley. Ready. Fire!
Use GPS to locate allies. The enemy is showing signs of fatigue. Deal the final blow.
Eyeball, give us a report. You overdid it. Thanks for the fire support. Roger. This is our chance.
We've spotted enemy backup. Check your radars.
Copy. Trigger. It's about time we finished up here and helped other allies in trouble.
You don't need to try to target every enemy. Just keep your focus. Take one down and move on to the next.
First half of men? What about the reinforcements? Backup is coming. They're defending HQ. HQ, this is 1-2. Eliminate the enemy resistance. 1, 2, and 3 are making their way to HQ now. The balance in our favor.
Do not let them through. Strider 1, enemy is locked on. Made it sighted.
3
Missile.
minutes remaining.
Missile. Missile.
Strike. Evading.
Missile.
Gotcha, pal.
Missile. 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 Caution.
Strider 1, missile inbound.
Box 2. Box 2.
Missile.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Caution. Alert.
Strider 1 has destroyed the target.
Strider 1, box 2.
This is turning into an absolute nightmare. There's no end.
Destroyed.
There's just too many of them.
Missile. Caution.
Dodge that missile. Enemy's got a lock.
2 minutes remaining.
Time for a quick hit and run.
Cross the friendly.
Break through the enemy lines and make your way to the headquarters.
Fox 2.
Pursuing enemy. Strider 1, this is... Strider 1, this is...
You really think that missile was gonna hit anything? Don't let down your guard. The enemy will fight to the very end.
3 seconds remaining. Target acquired.
Target has been destroyed!
Vehicle eliminated.
Bandit acquired. Initiating attack. Bandit has fired a missile! Break! The attacks just keep coming!
Bandit destroyed. Well done.
Cyclops 4, Fox 2.
All aircraft, listen carefully. This is Lancaster. We have the upper hand. The enemy headquarters is almost ours. Operation to eliminate all enemy satellites also underway. All going according to plan. The end of the war is in sight. Think of something you'd like to eat, guys? Because I'm buying.
Roger that.
Man, don't jinx us!
You're right. Blue bogies. Count 5 Su-30s inbound.
It's Mr. Rex.
What's going on here? I don't believe it. We've just lost ship 3 and 4. We're taking heavy damage. It's like this monster is toying with us out there. We've got to do something.
LRSSG, we have an emergency order from Mission Command. Bring down Mr. X. I know it's a tall order, but HQ wouldn't ask if they didn't have faith in you.
There they are. It's the snowbirds. The 2 leaders are the different levels. But don't underestimate the rest of them either. This should prove to be fun. What do you mean? It's just like you say. The enemy has experienced fighters in their midst.
Strider 1, missile away.
What do you think the pilots? Drill the air sides be destroyed, focusing on the leader. Missile inbound! Evade! I'm hit! Stay focused. We've still got a monster to slay.
This ship is sunk. Single fighter coming back around.
Don't let Mr. X run wild. Friendlies are suffering heavy damage.
Enemy is far away. What's this guy eating to fly like that? Fox 2! Fox 2!
Strider 1, target acquired.
They're after me. I need cover.
Mr. X is eating Trosian forces.
No. Who are these guys?
Scratch the last escort.
We need to be extra careful if we want to split up the 2 leaders. Eject while you can still talk. Shaking bandit.
This is Cyclops 3. I'm in hit. I gotta eject.
Cyclops 3 is bailed out safely. Don't worry, he's gonna make it. Listen, Trigger, real talk. If we keep this up, someone's not going home. I'll act as a leader. Meanwhile, you shoot down Mr. X.
What?
Alright, he grabbed a bait. Time to take him for a ride. Man, this is one stubborn bastard. He's on my tail, but he won't fire. Waiting for the perfect shot, eh? Sorry, stranger, but my boys won't let you have it.
Enough with your air show, Wiseman. You're pushing it.
Oh, Cal, that's sweet. I never knew you cared. You're all grown up. I'll even let the wisecrack slide.
Hey, I'm being serious here.
has shown that an enemy aircraft has been stuck on Cyclops 1 for a while now.
Makes my blood run cold to even think if he came up on the 6.
Shit!
Caution.
Wiseman, bandit behind you! You're quite the entertainer, but the show's over with this next shot. Wasn't a bad pilot. Wiseman, missile closing! I'll keep him on me. Real longer.
Shit! Cyclops 1 is down.
Cyclops 1 is
Wiseman!
down.
Eject already, Wiseman! I'm sorry, Count. This plane exploded.
Wiseman!
Stay strong. We're not done here. Cyclops 2, you've got the lead. Wiseman! Shit! Negative, Cyclops 2. You're the lead. I can't do it. Trigger should take command. Duty is yours. It's impossible.
Do it.
Damn it. Cyclops 4, form an element. We need our top gun if we're gonna take out that bastard.
Look, Count. These guys are way out of my league. I can't even get in close to them.
Stall warning.
Target hit. Target hit.
Damn.
Now go finish the job.
Get this correct, Trigger. Shoot it down, Trigger. You can do it. In fact, you're the only one who can. My radar suddenly turned off.
What is it? Respond.
My data won't update. Damn it. What was that?
Lost radar contact. What's up?
Look at the sky. Towards the sun.
What is that?
A star? No. Maybe an explosion?
This is Soul Squadron. Head home. It's not safe to stick around here if we lose our base.
Listen up. We've just lost our real-time connection with Mission Command. It's not just Mission Command. I'm not getting any response from outside our LOS. Brabante's now under Ocean control. The operation was a success. We didn't get the orders that should have come after the operational success. We'll guide you to the scheduled airport. All aircraft, leave this airspace immediately.
Negative. They've got a debt to pay.
Count, we all feel the same way.
Shit.
So Wiseman died for nothing.
This is a peacekeeping force forward base near Erusian territory. Other Allied aircraft have probably been forced to make emergency landings at other airfields. We don't know much. The mission to capture the capital is nearly complete, but we unfortunately have no intel. The enemy communication satellites are down, and we have confirmed the deaths of several Erusian leaders. But our enemy was smart. They had a similar plan. Our own communication systems were destroyed at approximately the same time. We have no idea when or if they'll come back online. Stand by for further details.
As far as the chaos we find ourselves in these days, it's difficult to say which side pulled the trigger first. Erusia deployed an automatic intercept system with drones. Osea implemented long-range attacks to bypass them. So Erusia decided to sabotage Osea's communications and navigation technology. Erusia couldn't launch a satellite themselves, but they were still able to hack the software of the Osean transmission and navigation systems. Before Osea even noticed, half of their satellites were hijacked. That's when things got ugly. In an attempt to knock out each other's capabilities, both forces launched fighters loaded with anti-satellite missiles at the same time. Only military satellites were targeted, However, their destruction created a debris field in orbit, which wiped out scores of other satellites, both private and government-owned. What kept the world relatively sane up to that point had been free-flowing data and information. But now, those were gone. All that remained was chaos and confusion. Government and civilian broadcasts and transmissions were cut off. The flow of information had ceased. Forces on both sides of the conflict now found themselves unable to communicate with their superiors. Many of the smaller countries annexed by Erusia and yearning for their independence seized the opportunity and started their own uprisings. As for why some of Osia's military decided to break off from the main force and continue on their own, I have no idea. Perhaps there was some sort of dispute over the chain of command. The continent that had once seen wars that were only fought between Osia and Erusia was now full of numerous conflicts between rival leaders vying for power. Insurgencies were everywhere. I even heard a rumor that a group of Osean convicts had rebelled. Rumors. It never ceased to amaze me that even at a crazy time like this, something as trivial as a rumor could find its way here. Communications from corporate were cut off. Apparently, the entire computer network was down. It was a wise decision to make our drones autonomous with AI instead of being radio-controlled. Wise and forward-thinking. Even with their GPS offline, they can still use their sensors to navigate as long as they're working properly. I'm sure the drones are still working perfectly, following their mission orders to the letter. I wish I could upload Mihai's new data to them. But without a connection, I can't upload the software to the active drones. The new ones we're making, though, there should still be enough time to upgrade those before they're activated. I'll be taking the data I've acquired away from the front lines now. Oh, and I'll be taking the girls, too. I told my assistant Masa it was time to get Mihai's granddaughters ready to leave here. She's not much older than the girls, but she has a way about her, and I'm sure she won't have any trouble with them. I saw a plane flying off in the distance. I imagine it was looking for a safer place. The plane had a rose emblem on it.
Erusia's communication networks have been down since their satellites were destroyed. Unfortunately, we are experiencing trouble too. All of Erusia has been affected, and we don't know when things will be back up and running. We're not even sure if this is Erusia's doing. Still, we will follow the strategy that was originally planned and move on to the next operation after liberating Farbanti. Let's get to it. Since the war began, we've been receiving communications in secret from an officer in the Erusian army.
With the capital under our control, Erusia's radical element is losing support quickly, affecting the balance of power.
HQ is thinking of using the military officer as a way to gain leverage to settle peace negotiations. The officer is currently hiding in the outskirts of Anchorhead Bay, having joined up with support dispatched from the Osean army. The plan is that they'll take a standard vehicle to a rendezvous point at a harbor in the east part of the city, where a helicopter will be waiting.
I would like the new Strider Squadron to provide escort for the officer. Cyclops will remain at the base on standby to serve as defense.
With the communication network currently down in the capital, I very much doubt Erusia will be able to mount a regimented counterattack. However, it is likely that Erusia's intelligence department and the remaining forces who are aware of the officer's movements will interfere. Keep a close eye on the officer and make sure he stays safe. Our victory in Farbanti has given us a golden opportunity to finally end this war. Be safe out there.
Take note that our satellite-based IFF has become unreliable following the recent communications failure. As such, target ID will be done by processing the images from the infrared cameras on your aircraft. Objects will initially appear as unknown on your HUDs, but will be ID'd once you close in on them for a set period of time.
Strider Squadron, you're cleared to taxi.
To the unidentified Ocean craft, this is Captain Carl of the Ocean Army. Are you here for the escort? You're not the squadron I was expecting. Are you really friendlies? Over.
This is Longcaster. Airborne warning and control system for the Ocean Long-Range Strategic Strike Group. Captain Carl, they're on our side.
And those two pilots we've heard about must be here too.
Okay, I hope you're right. Longcaster, are all of these really unknowns?
It's a state of civil war. The Erusian army is fighting itself. There's no guarantee the Oceans won't shoot us in this confusion.
We'll image process the unknowns caught in your cams to identify friend or foe. The process will be faster if you get a close-up, well-centered image.
Meanwhile, just run if they shoot us, right?
Affirmative. Always identify your target before you fire.
There's something I'll never get used to. But tonight it's been a total shock. The city under martial law. Gunfire and the roar of jets echoing through the streets.
Give me Strider Squadron's IDs. Oh, and hand me that sandwich. ID'd as Ocean Forces. This is AWACS for the LRSSG.
Our info has been updated.
Target locked. Entering the Anchorhead Bay area. Buildings will block your line of sight. Make sure to keep track of your objective.
How this war ends depends on this mission. I'm counting on you.
Understood.
We're the ones on the radio. We don't know our location. Give us orders.
We have no orders, but we do have ID data. Check your TAC terminal. Strider Squadron, identify the unknowns along the route. It's Erusian.
They aren't responding aggressively.
General, if they're conservatives, they'll listen to us. The negotiations were a success, Lancaster. They've opened up a path for us. The more the merrier. We can't see the tops of the roofs from down here. Be on the lookout for enemy ambushes. We made it through the Anchorhead Bay area. We're heading along Highway 208 under the bridge. We're taking the coastal highway at the next ramp.
All right.
The use of drones makes war more palatable. Why don't people realize this?
It's ID'd as Erusian.
Fire! Fire! We're on your side, you idiots!
Wait. General managed to convince them.
Listen, those that protect General LaPaz are the real patriots. Onward!
There's a vehicle up ahead. Think it's gonna ask us to pay a toll? Get closer and find out if it's an enemy vehicle.
We'll go. Let's go.
We archived all the footage that we've shot. When the communication networks come back online. Vehicle blocking the road. No response to hails. It's the radicals.
Strider 1, target acquired.
inside Erusia. I'm sure the boys listening upstairs will record it. The open declaration of war, expanding the front lines, was all the work of some young Erusian officers. They were referred to as radicals, but there was an unseen force guiding them. It was technology they borrowed from the Belkans. When they actually went to war, the performance of the attack drones exceeded their wildest dreams. And they were incredibly clean, which got public opinion and the opportunists within the military on their side. They even manipulated the princess. The Belkan technology advanced UAV research within the Erusian flight test center by at least 10 years. They used the flight data from a former ace pilot to create drone AI, but to us it's no different than magic or alchemy. Airplanes are meant to be flown by human beings. For those of you listening in, am I wrong? We're heading towards Grunder Park. Rendezvous point is the helipad on this man-made island. We'll ditch the car and take the helicopter from there.
Shoot down any aircraft that approach us. What are you thinking?
Locked on. This one's a goner. Strider 1, railgun fired.
Hostile has a lock.
An unknown is blocking our scheduled route.
No response. Got a bad feeling.
Missile.
Thanks. We would have been toast.
You've entered the clouds.
Captain Carl, we have a new rendezvous point. New coordinates are as follows. 263 Tango 4, 1999 Delta Lima. Rescue team says hostiles are making the area too dangerous.
Well, yeah, don't they know nowhere is safe?
Our capital's fall has led to another power struggle within the Erusian military.
It's all gone to hell. Even radio chatters about the Civil War. Radio? Generally speaking, you have one in your cockpit. Yeah, ever since my previous squadron. I've got it taped, nice and secure.
Forces and the insurgents signals.
We're about to cross Anchor Bridge. There'll be nowhere to hide.
That was something.
Prepare to fire on a moment's notice. Which faction is the head of our organization? We need to know at once.
An armored vehicle's behind us. It's a vehicle used by the Erusian forces. Take it out!
Trigger, our VIP is in trouble. Clear the way for him.
We're taking fire! Take care of them!
I'm surrounded by nothing but friendly. No, the attack was an unintentional mistake.
I didn't think we were gonna make it, but you saved us. Thanks.
It is not machines that make the decisions in war. It's people. Understand that.
Almost reached the container area. Watch out for enemy ambushes.
Understood.
System failures caused weapon fire incidents among OCI forces. There are even rumors of penal units turning on their former allies. Taking fire from a friendly drone.
If they don't respond, shoot them down.
We're coming up on a tunnel. We'll need to split up until we reach the exit. There's more to Belkan technology than just UAVs. Thinking IFF designations for one was an astonishing feat. Used it to make drones that resembled Ocean fighters. And then to assassinate Harling and put the blame on enemy fighters. Belkin technology only brought chaos to the world.
Try shooting up there. Aren't they both?
I can't believe Aruzia is responsible for Harling's assassination.
We're the only ones here
Talking
on our side.
politics? That's new.
Can't ignore a story like that, right, Trigger? Bad news. Hostile armored forces outside of the tunnel. I'm thinking that we should go say hi.
General's a real celebrity. Seems everyone wants to meet him.
UAVs are acting strange. They're autonomous, but must be bonded. It's not the drone service. It's the school charge flux trust.
Missile away.
We were nearly done for. I couldn't have asked for better timing.
Nice. Glad to see the Oceans attacking the radicals. Maybe we should join up with them if it means getting rid of those assholes faster.
Regionalism is part of the infighting within these groups.
How'd you last, Longcaster? If it breaks, then we're here to help.
We've reached the industrial zone. This should be the new rendezvous point. The coordinates are up ahead. Take out any enemies in the surrounding area.
Welcome.
Glad we waited. Don't worry, we won't let anybody through after you. Roger.
Almost at the rendezvous. Leave the rear to the others.
Take back the city.
Understood.
The radicals truly believe boosted drone productions will make up for our losses. They shouldn't be taking responsibility for the capital's fall, but instead they're prolonging the war. That is why proper conservatives like myself are moving to regain control. All goes well. We should be able to sign a truce with Osia quickly.
Strata 1, target acquired.
We've reached the rendezvous point. There's the chopper, too.
Who do we turn to in this darkest hour? We need a beacon of light to show us the way. This is the Origin News Network.
Okay, let's go. We're getting out of here. I've had just about enough of this place. I'd like to offer my thanks to the LRSSG. They should finally bring about a true end to the war.
Understood. Good luck. Multiple unidentified aircraft approaching.
This plane is carrying civilians. We have escort fighters, but we do not intend to engage in combat. Please stand down.
What's going on?
Try to get a little closer. Weapon use is prohibited.
What's going on? Dr. Schroeder!
Whoa. There's a girl on board? He's not lying about carrying civilians.
No, unless she's a soldier.
Weapon use is prohibited. We've checked footage. It does seem to be a transport with escorts.
I repeat, this craft is carrying civilians. We are not here to fight.
Dr. Schroeder, tell me what's happening.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, but do not attack the civilian liaison.
That's the aircraft my grandfather told me about. The one with the scratches.
There it is. The EASA liaison plane. They engage in witchcraft with Belkin technology. They're responsible for leading the military down the wrong path.
Wait, unknown's attacking the girl's plane.
Alpha, enemy contact.
Longcaster, permission to engage.
Negative.
What?
They could be Ocean fighters. ID them ASAP.
Shit.
That's all we can do.
ID complete. They're Erusian fighters. What the hell is going on?
Stay sharp.
Uh-huh.
Right, I'm shooting them down. Any complaints?
Granted.
Wilco. Yeah, good work. Strider 1 has killed a bandit.
Strider
No good. Shit.
They're in my way.
Bandit destroyed. Well done.
Nice kill.
Good work. All hostile aircraft eliminated. The liaison is safe. Wait.
The escort fighter is... The drive. They're missing the drive.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding me. Liaison escort has a radar lock. They're targeting you guys.
What the hell? We were just helping that.
Erusian aircraft, this is AWACS Longcaster. Do not engage the liaison. Break off now.
Can you get me on this channel, OC craft? Those escort aircraft are drones. They are currently being operated autonomously. They are not being controlled by anyone. They are flying on their own volition.
What? In that case, we have no choice but to shoot the aircraft down.
Unfortunately, yes.
We did what we could. Weapons free. You are cleared to attack the escort.
Welcome. Understood.
Wilco.
Can't abort the MQ-99's launch. Our commands are overridden. They must be accessing it remotely.
Hey, it's not our fault they won't listen to reason. Why build something like that? Whoever did is the king of all dumbasses.
To build something else entirely.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Additional hostiles inbound. Great timing.
Son of a bitch.
This way.
No. The escort must have used its remote activation rights to gain more allies. Clever.
Target acquired.
Punch 2. Attack missed.
Star warning.
Enemy on your back.
Missile. Missile.
5 bandits remaining.
Missile.
Damn it. They don't have the drive they need.
Missile.
It's not enough to make it functional. There has to be a time that should not function.
Starter 1, Fox 2.
They are after data on me.
4 bandits left. Three bandits to go.
Missile.
Target acquired.
Missile.
2 bandits left. Show them what you got. 1 bandit to go.
Strider 1, that's what I like to see. Another story to tell my boy.
Understood. All hostiles have been eliminated. Nice. General's helicopter is flying safely outside Anchorhead Bay. All aircraft, RTB, mission complete.
All hostiles, huh?
General, the Ocean aircraft is here to pick us up. The approaching Ocean aircraft.
Losing his army? Elaborate. They stole our sealed orders. It should be a piece of cake.
Are you sent by the General's staff? No, we'd like you to send... I can't!
There are 3 scratches.
What does that mean?
The tail of that plane.
Longcaster, are all of these really unknowns?
It's a state of civil war. The Erusian army is fighting itself. There's no guarantee the Oseans won't shoot us in this confusion.
We'll image process the unknowns caught in your cams to identify friend or foe.
In order to respond to the attack on the base, Cyclops has scrambled after being on standby. We'll head up too, once our planes are ready. Oh, and Labarth is dead. What did you say? Apparently, he was shot down by another Osean aircraft after he left the area of operations. I mean, I know it was chaos, but still. At any rate, the sealed order operation has come to a close. We have no idea about a plan for going forward.
All we can do for now is watch our own backs.
What's up with the commander?
He's staying in his room. He's still alive, since we can hear him crying.
The island we went to was supposed to have been secured by the ground forces. They hadn't gotten a handle on things by the time we got there, so now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign. My job was to get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Osean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape. They stole some jets and now they were flying around, taking out their former allies left and right. I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around. Hearing the Osean jets firing at each other overhead chipped away at morale. Since the radio was out, it was quiet. I liked it better that way. All I heard was the gunfire. Here we were, walking around carrying rifles. We were pilots, damn it. Friendly fire will probably kill us. You know things are desperate when the guards that used to lock us into solitary are now telling us it's better we all stick together. I guess they think our odds of surviving this war are better that way. After walking for miles across the battlefield, we came across the wreckage of a plane. Passenger, not military. I knew that rose. It was an Erusian liaison plane. The guard's dogs smelled something and took off. They led us to a cliff. And the bodies.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after him and shot him to pieces. He was my best friend. After all those speeches I gave about working together for peace, I thought everyone felt the same as I did. I'm sure the soldier who shot at me knew I was the Princess of Erusia. He was Erusian too. More soldiers have come. Now, there is no one left to protect me. I am so numb, I cannot move. I watch as one of their dogs approaches. It sniffs mournfully at my dead friend. I wonder if it grieves for him as much as I do. I can barely think. I feel weaker by the minute. I don't know who these soldiers are with, but I managed to take a sip of the water they gave me.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess? After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio.
It still works! I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
You see, I used to listen to your broadcasts, Your Royal Highness.
Just what did you see here?
Okay, enough talk. Your opinions have all been taken into consideration. Beyond the seizure of Farbanti, which is important, and supporting the Erusian officer. At this point, I just don't know what our strategy is, or what our mission will be. Radio communication is still patchy for both the military and civilians, so we're getting zip from Mission Command about our orders. Still, with countless Erusian forces in the area, it's too dangerous for us to stay around here waiting for a miracle. Now, regarding Count's suggestion to think about self-defense, I think we should make a break for Tyler Island. It was a large Osean base before the start of the war. Count says his previous squadron took part in an operation to seize control of the island. It has the only base that will get us to the space elevator without refueling. It's also a transport facility for supply ships that provide drones and ammo for arsenal birds. For the Osean forces that are looking to reclaim the space elevator, those are two great reasons in its favor. If everything went according to plan, the base may already be in Allied hands when we get there. Though based on what Count told me about the island operation, it won't be easy to seize control.
If the ground troops have managed to open the bridgehead, the transport route to Osea for supply ships should be available.
So much at stake, I can't imagine Erusia just giving it up without a fight. Things could really have gone bad.
Even if there are enemies left, they should be pretty easy to suppress.
I just want to go home, man.
Me too.
With that look on your face, Trigger, I know exactly what you want to do.
If Trigger's ready to kick ass, then so am I.
Damn straight. We're with you, Trigger.
It's decided then. Let's get all the aircraft and haul ass to Tyler Island. Although we can avoid the Arsenal Bird's anti-air network, there's still remnants from the Erusian forces. I want to get to the island without getting into any unnecessary combat. Pick a fast craft and fix it how you want. Pack for a long trip, but remember, if you drag your ass, you'll get left behind.
Strider Squadron, sortie ASAP.
This is Tango 2-3, pursued by multiple tanks and APCs. They'll all go down if we don't pull back the landing craft. And what? Abandoned Tango 2-3?
Something's not right.
Tango 2-3, we don't have the firepower to assist you. You're on your own. Please, we need help.
Wagtail is on the Osean landing ship. What's going on? What did you say?
Multiple bogies inbound. Damn it. Prepare for anti-air combat.
This is the AWACS Longcaster. The aircrafts in your area belong to the LRSSG.
Allied aircraft. A retreating vehicle is taking fire. Requesting assistance.
Roger. ID complete. Update us on Tyler Island.
Thank God. Could be worse. Our forces are scattered and on the run.
They're on the run?
We were waiting for retreating units here to carry them out to safety. Where's the one here? Do me a favor, Longcaster. Many of our allies are cut off. We need
retreating Osean forces. Take out any hostiles in their area.
Missile.
Don't engage till targets are ID'd.
The boots on the ground don't need more people shooting at them.
Thanks. It's absolute chaos out there. The Erusians are even starting to fight amongst themselves.
Well, now we know what's going on, but shit.
Bodies of dead civilians. I don't think it was part of the fight. Yeah, they're all lined up. No, they are not combatants. Some of them aren't even Welsh. I can guess what happened here. I really don't want to. We need to tackle Erusian bastards. It's a blatant war crime. Take photos for evidence.
They're Erusian. Jesus, they're firing at each other. Is this the norm around here?
It's all crazy people.
We are in the middle of a mission to take back the mass driver. Supply ship at the munitions depot is highly combustible.
The enemy has a beat on you. Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
Get out of here, hurry! You let them through, we're as good as dead! I just got the photograph. We'll head back to East. Give us another 30 minutes. The men say they want to release kids and children of the proper area. If you see 3 strikes, count to 3, and the enemy's gone.
The last vehicle's been destroyed. Let's get out of here.
Let's get moving! Hit the gas and don't let up until we reach the extraction point! I don't want to see anyone, hostile or friendly!
Enemy on your back. Don't pursue too deep. We just need to buy some time. Hold them at bay until Operation Feeding time. Throw them away from the mass driver.
Fox 2.
We're outnumbered. Taking heavy losses. We can't even run. The enemy will shoot us in the back.
Target is down.
Cyclops 3, Fox 2.
All aircraft, search every nook of the island. We're not leaving anyone behind.
We're taking heavy damage. Our guys even took out the enemy air support. What do we do now? Send in the tank!
Allied retreat looks good.
I count 12 dead bodies here. They seem to be upper middle class. Spaceport's nearby, so they could be researchers and their families. Most likely, they were involved in Delta.
Target acquired.
Where's our damn air support?
We're moving out! Leave the jet behind! We'll come back to this island one day and send them off properly.
Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
I have a solid lock.
Strider 1, we've identified the unknown targets.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
An explosion inside! Continue the countdown. The countdown! There's still one arsenal bird left. Fill it full of bombs, then Erusia will have a fighting chance.
Strider 1.
Great! But will we make it in time?
A landing ship is waiting for you.
Right, we leave the wounded. This will guarantee us a one-way ticket to hell. Pretty sure we're there already.
It's the Osean military.
Don't they know they're on the same side?
Missile.
We'll be firing at each other.
Missile.
This is AWACS Longcaster. The latest ID data. Check your TAC terminal.
Confirmed. The info is from Allied AWACS. Hold your fire. Roger. Where are we supposed to believe? Who should we follow?
You guys got out alive. You have time to figure it out.
Use cameras to track the supply ship. Don't fly with their backs to the supply ship. If it's hit, we're done for.
Target destroyed.
Missile.
Clear the landing craft. Many thanks, Longcaster. Didn't have to leave our plane to die.
Understood.
Missile.
Strider 1, missile launched. Firing railgun. Cyclops 2, Fox 2. I'm on its back. Wait, multiple bogeys from the east.
Their timing tells me they're not here to bring good news.
We need to ID the bogies. Take them down if they're hostile.
Understood.
Target acquired.
Bogies inbound. Escort fighters, we're counting on you. Should we fire? Even if we're not fired upon?
Rank of the Erusian army retreating. We're just sitting ducks for our air support.
Strider Squadron, you're near an armada of bogies. Identify them.
Stay on course. Let's just get this done with.
Visual.
Like an eagle.
If that had been our fighter, we might have made it.
Strider 1, firing railgun.
Identification complete. It's Erusian bombers and their escorts.
Count's prophecy has come true. Take out all bombers. They'll flatten our allies.
Plenty of civilian casualties as well. Precision bombing is impossible in these conditions. Maybe they know they can't. We're gonna drop them all. I'm behind my target.
Missile.
Graham 2, on my target still.
Locked on. Think that'd miss.
The bombers are nearing the island. We're running out of time. Strider 1, firing railgun.
Launch control, this is Flight Leader. All systems ready. Here goes the launch. This is launch control. The enemy is closing. Confirm launch readiness. Affirmative. This is our last chance for Operation Beauty Time. Launch control, roger that.
You're out of chaff and flares. Only half the bombers remain. We can't let even one get away.
Hey you, dumbass with the scratches on his tail. Hear me? I need you to help some people. There's a group of refugees surrounded by Erusian tanks right here. Needless to say, their future's not looking too bright.
This is a secure military line. Who is this?
Me. Call me the Scrap
Lancaster, she's an ally. Trigger and I'd know that voice anywhere.
Voice. So you're still breathing, Sir Count.
Here, let me have a word. Hey, it's been a while. I had a feeling the two of you were still alive. Remember, stick with Trigger and you'll make it.
We have a bit of intel for you. We'll share it if you can help us refugees.
Count me in.
That's right.
All enemy bombers have been destroyed.
We did it.
Okay, Scrap Queen. Send us the target coordinates.
I was thinking about how I'd do that.
Don't you have a laser target indicator?
Why would she?
Use the smoke canister. And he was taking us to the enemy's doorstep. Not me. Wait, you moron! Wait! What are you doing, dumbass? Here! Attack right here!
Lancaster, we've confirmed the location of the flare.
That's them. All aircraft, we just updated your threat matrix via data link. Take out those targets.
Don't miss. We don't want to hit the pretty ladies down there.
Missile.
Hurry!
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Target acquired.
Good job! The enemy tanks are toast. I don't think I could even do anything to that scrap.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Everyone knows it. No other reason.
Promise is promise. Here's the intel. I heard it from an Erusian soldier that defected. The supply ships will be launched soon.
Yeah, that is valuable information.
That doesn't sound good.
But can it be trusted?
Not sure. Heard it from a man who said he wanted to atone for his sins. Up to you to trust him or not.
Understood. Good luck.
Releasing safety.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. 1, 2, 3. The mass driver is accelerating.
The supply ships have been launched from the mass driver. If the supply ships make it to the Arsenal bird, they'll be able to resupply it. They may be loaded with new weaponry that we don't even know about. We have no choice but to take down the supply ships before they can get within the Arsenal bird's air defense network. You've got to hurry or you're not going to make it.
Missile.
All aircraft, remain on high alert. We got bandits incoming on radar.
Missile.
You're gonna have to forget about them for now. Focus on destroying that supply ship first.
We're sitting ducks like this.
If we let the supply ship get too far away, we'll never be able to catch it. That sucker's hiding in the clouds. Trigger, don't let it get away.
Which one first?
Don't try to follow after the supply ships. Stick close to Trigger. They're faster than I expected.
Target acquired.
All right, move in behind them and take them down.
Did you see that explosion? Looks like that's one of them down.
Remember, there are 2 supply ships out there. Hurry up and shoot the other one down. We've recalculated the remaining time. 90 seconds to the enemy's air defense network.
Don't lose them!
Missile.
Just avoid the enemy's fire for now.
Okay, but we won't be able to do that forever, you know.
Missile.
60 seconds remain.
Missile.
Hope you're all enjoying the pretty fireworks. If this thing had any windows, we could have seen it for ourselves. Nice work, team.
We're gonna find ourselves a boat and leave this island. We'll be taking the refugees, along with any deserters from the Erusian military.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
Who's the girl that ran at the tanks with the smoke canister? A few more crazies like her, and life down there may have been a tad bit easier.
What do you think would have happened to those refugees if you hadn't intervened? The princess saw what happened. They were little kids.
That's why I like the sky. You don't have to see those types of things.
Does this mean we're that much closer to ending the war?
No, we just basically prevented it from going on forever.
Count's right. We have no choice but to return to our original base. Our base that is nearly out of food and fuel. We need to do something.
This is Tango 2-3. Pursued by multiple tanks and APCs. Now all go down if we...
Good. Take a seat. Everyone's here. All right. Good work in sinking the supply ships. Not to mention saving the refugees. However, we're in no position to start celebrating. Even the commander here is starting to fray from the stress. Can't say I blame him. Now, Tyler Island is in a state of complete anarchy. This base isn't safe either. The faces you see around you are the only friends we've got. Take a good look.
We found a boat, then sailed away from the island. We had to. We didn't belong there. The new guy's name was George. I noticed when the anarchist said his name, he said it with a thick Belkan accent. How did you know that he was from Belka?
Well, both my parents were from Belka, so...
You never told me that. They say that Belkans are known for their conspiracies.
That's just a stereotype. Now, I simply stated my honest opinion and was thrown in jail for it.
The princess sat there looking miserable. That was a dumbass stunt she pulled back there, but it got us on this boat. Take a look at that. This ship is heading for a single rope that's hanging down from the sky. Do you know how far the end of that rope reaches?
Outer space.
No. It is a direct connection to the very potential of mankind itself. Or at least it was until war erupted.
It's my strong belief that the rope might be connected to a very distant, faraway source of great conflict and strife. Even long before the war, the whole world started falling apart once Harling began trying to build it. I often wonder what was going through Harling's mind when he was trying to destroy the very thing that so many people were sacrificed in order to create.
Sacrificed? What do you mean?
Have you seen all of those countless old space shuttles on Tyler Island that are no longer in use?
Yeah. I always thought of them as a good source of scrap. They're an obsolete technology that was abandoned during the construction of the space elevator. Which would mean that if the space elevator was destroyed, it would be that much harder for mankind to reach the stars. Until we find another way.
But even then, Harling still went ahead and tried to destroy it. At the cost of his own life.
That's not the way I heard it. What I heard was that he sacrificed himself to protect the tower from an incoming missile.
Oh, I was told he tried to fly his ship into the tower in order to destroy it.
I wonder which story is true, Your Royal Highness.
I don't know. Looking at it objectively, it's reasonable to believe that Harling had both options before him.
When it comes to which one you think he took, I guess it's like a mirror.
Yes, it is. It's like a mirror looking into your own soul, based on whichever choice you believe it was. At the moment, though, I can only see darkness. I think that thing should be destroyed.
It's time for the briefing. Although, since we don't have any contact with HQ, it's not like this is an official mission. Anyway, it looks like the seizure of Tyler Island and the relief from Osea have been postponed. In the meantime, we just have to do what we can to survive. Since losing its capital city of Ferbanti, Erusian forces have separated into smaller, autonomous factions. It looks like Erusia's largest force and leading faction will pass through the area around this base. The space elevator is significant to them, so they're probably heading there.
Should we intercept?
Why? I doubt they're gonna start a fight now.
Our top priority should be to get home. Let's go already.
Yeah. It's not like we have the supplies, power, or even a real reason to put up a fight. But what are we going to do if they bring the fight to us? We need to be ready to push them back. If we head inland from here towards Erusia, there's an old castle that's been converted into a stockpiling base. Shalaji Castle. It's currently occupied by some of the Erusian forces that broke off, but we need ammo and fuel. They appear to have converted a freeway into a runway, so we can expect them to have the capacity for air combat. But they'll be easier to handle than Erusia's lead faction. While we can't use all our aircraft to attack, the transport carrying the stolen supplies needs support. Okay, Strider Squadron. You head out first and neuter the dogs at the stockpiling base. Rendezvous with Cyclops Squadron, who will bring the transport. Then we bring the supplies back to this base.
Got it.
Aircraft are our only threat.
Sounds good.
We'll make it. We're all gonna fly home. Together.
Strider Squadron, aircraft prep complete. You're cleared to taxi.
No Ocean forces are in the region ahead. No allies here. No need to ID your target. We've set a number of priority targets, focusing on their anti-aircraft weaponry. Okay, team, get to work.
Unidentified aircraft, not sure if friend or foe. Fire anyway. We don't have time to be wondering if they're friendlies or not. Don't stop the car!
So, capture this base and take the fuel and supplies. That's the plan, right, Trigger?
You take if you want to live. That's how it was where I grew up.
I was just double-checking mission orders, Hushin.
Our anti-air guns are destroyed. Abandon and fall back to our rear position. Retreat!
There are more vehicles along the road. They don't appear to be military.
Not that many. Aim
They're
carefully
Erusian
and take them
refugees.
down.
They must be fleeing since the conflict got worse.
Unidentified aircraft. Identify at once or we'll open fire.
What is he talking about? They already are firing on us.
Missile.
The enemy's confused.
Missile.
I know.
We're all out of ammo. Don't give up. We're not going to lose our country again. Who's that squad with 4 fighters?
So what's this faction split from the Erusian military?
The autonomous state of Shalaji used to be a nation. The region has always leaned towards independence.
Why are they after this base?
Those who want to restore their homelands flock to it.
Apparently, their core consists of officers from Vaslage, which favor Shalaji.
Are they our enemies?
They're our enemy's enemy, but not our friends.
Missile. Missile. Caution. Hold up.
Predator clear. Look out. We're unable to use the SAMs. Help me!
The resistance is strong. They seem pretty desperate.
Get some of the AA shields, they'll come down. Enemy is split. I'm trying to break. Got your stick, shake him off.
In gun range.
Fly arms are planes up in the air. They have 4 aircraft. More planes incoming. Fire more missiles.
While you're in there. We're coming up on the castle.
Let's hurry up and capture this base so we can get its fuel and supplies. Shit!
Hurry up and take
I
out.
feel like we're a group of burglars.
Don't say that. This is for our survival.
Yeah, I know.
That's Shalaji Castle.
Take in both civilians and refugees without discrimination. Get away from the stone building and take shelter somewhere sturdier or underground. Drop where you are and cover your head and keep your chest.
Missile away. Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
Missile.
Strider 1, target eliminated.
Missile. Missile.
Not bad at all, Trigger.
All our infantry fighting vehicles will take the car.
Gun destroyed.
Damage report.
Gun range.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Shit. We still have plenty of missiles left, but the launcher is toast. Wait, somebody answer us.
Missile.
Everything's on fire.
Missile.
Missile fired. Evading.
Missile.
Lost more than half of our forces. The battle won't last much longer. Let them have our lives. As long as our nation stands, the young will carry on.
Missile.
That warehouse is filled with ammunition.
Missile. Missile.
New hostiles. All aircraft confirmed.
Missile.
This town is of high cultural value. It's unfortunate we had to bomb it like we did.
You do really need to survive, right?
Missile.
Not something I'll tell my son about. Negative. This battle's over if we don't get up there. With hope of restoration. Don't worry. As long as we accelerate inside the tunnel, they won't be able to shoot us down that easily.
Your interceptors are in the air.
All right.
Getting to takeoff speed inside the tunnel is insane.
Soul Squadron, airborne. Shoot the invaders out of our skies. Good luck, Soul Squadron.
Understood. You are in violation of Shalaji airspace. Turn around and we'll be forced to shoot you down.
This is the Ocean Long Range Strategic Strike Group. Land immediately and hand over your planes and base to us.
You must be the snowbirds. It's absurd for you to be talking so tough after losing one of your leaders at Fort Bonte.
You bastard!
You defile this country. As long as you're here, this country will never know peace. Shit. I'm out. Ejecting.
Missile. Missile.
I hope he's okay. Bailing out under those conditions.
Missile.
I can see his parachute. Let's pray he makes it to safety.
3 to go. Don't let them work together. Back up trigger.
Wilco.
Righto.
Movement hit. He's ejected. Damn. We can't even last long enough to buy ourselves some time. As expected, but a lucky shot would be boring. Some kind of energy weapon. No, it's a railgun.
Strider 1, you have a bogey approaching at high speed. Bearing 090, straight from the east. High-speed projectile launch from enemy aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You must find your own sky. We can still help you.
Missile.
Don't waste your life. Dedicated to reclaiming that which you call home. Furthermore, you must find someone to guide you.
Missile.
I am not that person.
Missile. Missile.
Muscle Team Squad will be retreating. Those fighting below are advised to temporarily withdraw. Don't die. As long as we're alive, our hopes and dreams live on.
Hey, look at the color of that plane.
Damn, that's the flames of hell.
Time for payback.
Negative. It's no good. I can't get close enough.
Leave it to Trigger. The rest of us will just get in the way. The rest form a perimeter to catch whatever slips through.
Welcome. Might just cost us our lives.
The enemy's mobility is still unfazed. Keep up the attack.
That bastard's moving in a way that minimizes the damage even when he's hit. Keep firing those missiles until you're blown to pieces.
Someone to guide us. Wait, I can't think of anyone other than you. Being together with Mihai taught me something. Drone fighters don't belong in the blue. They embellish the cosmos of the skies. And they're what the Proselytine Air Force should be fighting against.
Unidentified aircraft. Land your plane and surrender. Why do you feel the need to continue fighting on your own?
That's funny. It seems like one of the pilots is also fighting alone.
He's not alone. Look around you.
I see. Perhaps it would have been best to entrust the future to pilots like that. Let me test him then to see if he's truly worthy.
Hey, look. It's like the sky's been sliced wide open. We found out what they're calling me just a new toy.
This weapon is not enough to take down 3 strikes. This aircraft is my body. If they are not enough, then I must put my soul into it. There are pilots like you in every generation. And I've found every last one of them.
He's still flying, but his plane's been damaged. Finish him off, Trigger.
Missile.
Fox 2.
It's a hit. The unidentified aircraft is going down.
You got him.
Trigger has splashed a bandit.
Can you hear me? Pilot with the 3 strikes. This was all due to my ego. I unleashed pure chaos upon this world, just so I could keep my wings. Put a stop to the drone production.
Is this a message to Trigger? What does it mean?
I don't think this war is over just because we shot down Mr. X. Yeah, it's gonna take something else entirely to end this thing. I just don't know what.
Call warning.
The resupply went well. We should be okay on food and fuel reserves for a little while at least. Luckily, the rumor that the Erusian army is advancing nearby is only a rumor. There's no sign of them from the skies. Rumors, rumors, rumors. This is what happens when you lose communications. But we got one good fact. The plane Trigger shot down was an advanced model of the X-02 Wyvern. It was developed in the last Continental War. Erusia had a lot up their sleeves. Apparently, they were even supposed to have Belkin aircraft back in the First War. What if Trigger couldn't shoot it down? Just thinking about it gives me chills. We're lucky to be here. In war, you never know what's lurking behind the curtains. But it looks like everything's loose now. Solid chain of command, rest periods after sorties, a battlefield where you know friend from foe. All of that's gone now, lost in a fog of confusion. Feels like a distant dream. Now, just how the hell are we gonna get out of this mess?